is Nada? So I started in the profession 3 years ago, but I am born and bred here in Milwaukee. I went to school at UWM, migrated to Chicago for about 5 years. And so that's where I spent my professional career in public relations. I've worked for great firms on Michigan Avenue and corporations that were global. But when kids came, I came back home, although I continued to commute to Chicago for many, many years, which was a grind. So when COVID hit four years ago, right now, was it 4?
Yeah.
I basically lost my job as a consultant for the firm that I worked for. And I made the decision at that point, rather than rebuild my entire public relations practice here in Milwaukee, finally took the jump and got my license. I had started to get my license back in 2008. And that's when the infamous market crash happened, and real estate crash and financial crisis and all of that. But I decided that was not the right time to do that. I'm glad I did it now. Like, I love what I do. So that's a top line overview. And then I'm in business with my husband. He is a tax accountant. He is a guru of tax. Like, I can't speak highly enough about his business acumen, and he really helps me behind the scenes when I need it. And I have 2 sons, 23 and 19 and a half. And actually my 19-year-old has been shadowing me for about 1.5 years now as a full-fledged intern in my business. He's been so helpful when I'm running in 10 different directions. So
the life of a real estate agent.
Yeah. Oh, tenfold. It's literally the hardest job I've ever done. And I trained CEOs and upper level executives to conduct media interviews, which is why I asked you for preparation questions. And when you said, well, usually I don't do that, I said, okay, I can do this, right? So we'll see how the trainer does, how the media trainer does.
You're gonna be great. I just know it. Well, in the spirit of 5 and 5, I am gonna put 5 minutes on the clock. Okay. When the timer ends, the conversation continues to go. So, in your experience, what has been one of the best ways you've grown your business?
I would say it is simply just being in the trenches and being out active in my community, in my church, in organizations that I have a true affinity for. That's where I've met most of my clients right now. It's my sphere of influence. So a lot of people get hung up on how do I generate business? And a lot of times it's with the people, whether they be family and friends, in activities that you already love. And people will naturally migrate to you and trust you with that huge 6-figure transaction. So the short answer, I would say, is that.
What are 3 things you're passionate about?
3 things. My family. My family comes first above anything else. And our ethos here at Keller Williams plays into that. So that's definitely one thing. Followed up by the beach. I find the beach so restorative, and I love going to beaches where the weather is warm/hot. So everyone that knows me and follows me on social media, I love Wisconsin. I love our 4 seasons. I love it that we don't have hurricanes, alligators. Those are the 2 main ones that come to mind. But I also love Florida. I love the Gulf. I love the Emerald Coast. And we usually go there in August when it's 95 and dripping wet. And Disney also, we've loved going when it's hot. The heat does not dissuade us from going to Florida. So that was 2. And then my 3rd one, I would say, is music, because I've been a musician since I was a little girl. My mom and dad, they took the leap of faith of buying me a piano when I was 8 or 9 years old, and then my sisters followed suit. I ended up being heavily involved in music through high school, and then my kids became heavily involved in music with their high school music program out here in Muskego. And then I became president of the parent board that governs all of the fundraising activities, MHS Music Friends, for 6 of the 8 years that my kids were in the program. I was not a real estate agent at that point. Like, that is my true passion. Ironically, many of my clients have come from the music family because they know me and they trust me. So that's where that advice came from.
So the real estate industry is changing so much. What advice do you have for newly licensed agents?
I would say get your database in order from get-go. So that means pulling your address lists from if you had a wedding, a christening, high school graduation, Christmas card list, whoever. That is your first step to the gold, and getting that in order. And once you have that in place, really the world is your oyster. And a lot of people will say, well, I don't have a big database yet. And even whether I was an older new agent, but if you're a younger new agent, same rules apply. People are usually very surprised at how many people they can reach out to on a consistent basis when they have that in order. I do as I say, not as I do. I'm still getting my list finalized and in a spot that I am proud to say it's firing at all cylinders. But I would say for a new agent, that's what they should do.
So switching gears a little bit, something a little fun. What kind of shows do you love to binge? And is there one that you'd highly recommend?
Oh my God. So I don't watch a ton of TV, but I binged on The Crown. I'm slightly obsessive about following the royal family, although right now what's happening in the media with Kate Middleton is unacceptable.
Yeah, agreed, 100%.
And then I totally binged on Apple TV on the Supermodel series, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's where they featured Cindy Crawford, Christy Turlington, Naomi Campbell, and one other one. I was completely fascinated with that whole era. And so when I saw the behind the scenes of that series, I think it was 4 in total, I watched it 3 or 4 times. Yeah, guilty pleasure, I would say too, is $1 Million Listing with Tracy Tudor. I love watching that show. I can't wait for the next season to come out.
When I ask questions about what shows should we watch, there's always a show like that in the mix. And I'm always like, what, I should compile all these shows, all these podcasts, everything from those answers, because really, it's a great list of things to watch and follow and listen to. So, final question. When business speeds up, how do you stay on top of it without burning yourself out?
Yeah, that is the essence of everything that we do, right? I don't have an easy answer for that. I delegate a lot within my family. I am very lucky that now I don't have small kids. To all of the agents who are nurturing kids, high school, 12th grade and under, to do this job is unbelievably stressful, and my hat's off to them, because it is truly one of the hardest jobs I've ever done. Extremely important. You have all of someone's wealth or part of their wealth on your shoulders, both sides of the deal, right? So what I try to do is really just be highly organized in my client work, so that if I need someone to step up behind the scenes in my family life, I'm not worrying about keeping the balls in the air with my clients. I'm very fortunate that I have a husband and 2 sons that are very capable, and they handle things on their own. Within the realm of the real estate world in general, I will sacrifice sleep for organization. Like I need things to be in order. And that's how I was even in high school and college studying. I wouldn't go to bed until my school bag was packed. And in this case, I don't go to bed until my real estate school bag is packed and everything that I need to have done for that day or that week is off of my plate. So everybody's going to find their different jam for organization, though. I don't know how to counsel people on that right now, because I'm still learning and tweaking systems. That's actually a big goal of mine this year in year 3.
Well, it's impressive what you've done so far, and the advice that you have and the way that you conduct business. It's fantastic. And I'm knowing that your son is, working along with you along the way. Like, when he gets his license, do you think you're going to grow a team? Is that in the air?
Yeah, I think family teams are the best, but he has 2 very different passions. He also runs a side hustle. He's my baker, the one that was in the greatest baker competition. So he has his own Instagram page. I'll plug it right now. It's Beach House Baking Co. on Instagram, on Facebook. He has the most amazing hands creating cakes and donuts and different types of pastries, totally self-taught. And so I'm not sure right now, is he going that direction or my direction? We'll have to see what he thinks once he's done with school. He's just studying general business right now because he feels that'll serve him well across the board.
Mm-hmm. It probably will.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
awesome.
have to bring some treats into North Shore too soon. You guys will love it. Right?
Now you're speaking my love language. Well, you have made it. You successfully made it through 5 and 5, and I'm just so happy that we got to do this. You are just excellent. I really appreciate your time today because your answers are, I just think you're so helpful. Like you have, even in the 3 short years that you've had, like just hearing your experience sounds so extensive. And I think that it will really resonate with a lot of the other agents in the Market Center.
Well, I'm so flattered that you invited me. You helped me with one of my goals this year as far as being fearless and doing more video. And so I appreciate you. You didn't know you were doing that, but when you invited me to do that, I'm like, I have to do this because that's what I set out to do. All right, well, good luck editing me up. Sending you kisses.
Yes.
Thank you so much.